For the Navy's 245th birthday, CVN 77 commemorates the sacrifices that our Navy made during World War II. The United States Navy grew rapidly during World War II from 1941 to 1945 and played a central role in the Pacific theater in the war against Japan. It also played a major supporting role alongside the Royal Navy in the European War against Germany. The Imperial Japanese Navy sought naval superiority in the Pacific by sinking the main American battle fleet at Pearl Harbor, which was tactically centered around its battleships. The December 7, 1941 surprise attack on Pearl Harbor did knock out the battle fleet, but it did not affect the 3 U.S. aircraft carriers which were not present at Pearl Harbor at the time of the attack. The base was attacked by 353 Imperial Japanese aircraft in 2 waves, launched from 6 aircraft carriers. Of the 8 U.S. Navy battleships present, all were damaged, with 4 sunk. A total of 188 U.S. aircraft were destroyed, 2,403 Americans were killed, and 1,178 others were wounded. During the attack on Pearl Harbor, there was one sailor who stood out amongst the rest. Navy cook Dory Miller manned the anti-aircraft gun, for which he had no training, and then proceeded to tend the wounded. He was the first African American to receive the Navy Cross, the second highest decoration in the U.S. Navy. The war with the Axis powers came to head during the Battle of Midway. The Battle of Midway was a significant naval battle in the Pacific theater of World War II that took place on June 4th through the 7th of 1942, 6 months after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. 3 American aircraft carriers defeated an attacking fleet of 4 carriers of the Imperial Japanese Navy. The Japanese hoped another demoralizing defeat would force the U.S. to surrender in the war and thus ensure Japanese dominance in the Pacific. Luring the American aircraft carriers into a trap and occupying Midway was part of an overall barrier strategy to extend Japan's defensive perimeter. However, American cryptographers were able to determine the date and location of the planned attack, enabling the forewarned U.S. Navy to prepare its own ambush. In addition to the war in the Pacific Ocean, the Navy played a critical role in providing land support for U.S. troops in Iwo Jima and other Japanese territory. The Battle of Iwo Jima was a major battle in which the United States Marine Corps and Navy landed on and eventually captured the island of Iwo Jima from the Imperial Japanese Army in 1945. The American ground forces were supported by extensive naval artillery and had completed air supremacy provided by U.S. Navy and Marine Corps aviators throughout the battle. Despite the bloody fighting and severe casualties on both sides, the American victory was assured from the start. America maintained dominance while Japanese reinforcements, food, and supplies dwindled. It was the fighting spirit of the U.S. Navy during World War II that ensured maritime dominance and freedom of the seas.